50 running scandals bushed. Number 3, the nexus of politics and terror-gate. You'll remember the 7 losers in Florida who let an FBI agent posing as an al-Qaeda operative talk to them about staging an attack on bureau headquarters in Miami and the Sears Tower in Chicago. Remarkably, 2 trials now and 2 hung jurors. The jurors have already implied they largely believe the defense claim that these people were only interested in the FBI agent's money and the car he promised one of them, and they thought they were running a scam on the guy. But since the Bush administration has yet to have a major terrorism conviction, the U.S. Attorney for South Florida now announces he will try this case for a 3rd time. Number 2, Abstinence-Gate. Since the late 90s, at the insistence of Republicans in Congress and then the Bush administration, the federal government has spent $1.3 billion taxpayer dollars on so-called abstinence-only programs that were supposed to combat sexually transmitted diseases and teen pregnancies. The results are now in. 4 major medical organizations say the abstinence-only programs have slightly increased teen pregnancies and STDs. A Tennessee Republican congressman named John Duncan says it is, quote, elitist that people with academic degrees in health think they know better than parents. Of course, you wouldn't want anybody with an education getting involved in sex education. And number 1, support the troops-gate. As our friend Dana Milbank reports in today's Washington Post, the family of Lieutenant Colonel Billy Hall, one of the most senior officers yet killed in Iraq, gave its permission for media coverage of his funeral yesterday at Arlington National Cemetery. They wanted the nation to know about his sacrifice. Clearly, Mr. Bush and his people did not. Journalists were kept 50 yards away from the services, far enough away that they could not hear what the chaplain's final words over the American hero's body were, behind enough yellow rope that the faces of the next of kin would be obscured from photographers. Whatever this war does and does not mean to the history of this country, nothing could have been more greatly impacted the family of Lieutenant Colonel Billy Hall. And if his story and the story of other American heroes is kept from the American public, it is not the doing of a media that somehow dishonors the troops. The blame lies clearly and completely at the feet of the Bush administration. It does not want our heroes honored. It wants itself honored. And all else, Lieutenant Colonel Hall and his family and their wishes, they can all, Mr. Bush is saying, go to hell.